Matt Ewing, candidate number 4289, football.
The player I chose was number 4. Football is started off as a mob game, being originated from like Ashbourne football as an example. It was violent, cruel, it had unwritten rules, and it was quite a big occasion where a lot of all the villagers came together and played. This clip is mainly elite performers playing at a high level, representing counties. So they're playing at a high standard. The first strength of number 4 that I saw was his short passing. His technique was correct, so his standing foot was next to the ball, giving him balance. His kicking foot was at a 90-degree angle, striking the ball in the centre to ensure the ball travelled in a straight line. His arms out, so he was balanced, and he followed through, ensuring the power was correct to reach his player. Another strength was his cardiovascular fitness. Playing in centre midfield, he was up and down the pitch supporting his attack and midfield. So that's showing that his aerobic energy system is the predominant one. However, in football, it does range between the ATP-PC system and the lactic acid system, as depending on what position you're playing. However, being in centre midfield, he's working his socks off for 90 minutes, so he needs energy all throughout the game, working with oxygen. One of his weaknesses was his long passing. The majority of his long passing didn't have enough power to reach the fellow player, so he wasn't putting enough power behind the ball, following through enough. He didn't get his head up, so he was unsure where the player he was passing to was. And he was slightly off balance as the pass wasn't straight. It went to the opponent and they gained possession. Another strength was his marking on the throw-in. He stayed with his player, kept his eye on the player the whole time and went wherever he went, showing the cue utilisation hypothesis, where he had selective attention. He was focusing on relevant cues, i.e. being the player, and ignoring irrelevant cues, things like the crowd and how big the occasion was. And another weakness I thought was his shooting. He had a good opportunity, however he was off balance as the ball went completely wide. He didn't get his head up, and he didn't use the correct technique in striking the ball with his laces. His head wasn't over the ball, as the ball didn't go on target, it went high and wide. And the joint analysis of his ankle at the time, as he was striking the ball, his ankle was in plantar flexion, as he's striking the ball with his laces, and then when he comes down to land on the floor with his ankle, it goes up to dorsal flexion. And that, after that probably be a major weakness. So a major weakness will be shooting. Like I said, the coaching points for shooting, he should have his standing foot next to the ball, like in a pass, so he's balanced. He should have his arms out for balance. Ideally his kicking foot should come through towards the ball, in plantar flexion, so the ball's hit with his laces, ensuring a straight flight path and a lot more power behind the ball. He should follow through with his leg to ensure he gets enough power behind it, and he should bring his head up or just before he's shooting or as he's shot, to ensure that he knows the correct path it's going, and to ensure it's on target. The time scale for his action plan should be a 12-week period, and I'd start the action plan off with a pre-test to give me an idea of what standard he's at shooting wise. So I'd start off within a close sort of range at the penalty spot, with a few targets in the net, say 2 in either top corner, 1 in the bottom. And from a stationary position, I'd just hitting the balls into each target in like say a minute, and however many I'll designate in how many times you should get in each target, to say 4 in each. And then and I'll make a note of that so I can compare it at the end of the action plan. After I've done that, I will start off, like I said, the first session of it'll be probably 2 sessions a week for half an hour, and then later on, as he progresses, I'll extend the sessions to an hour long each. I'll start off within, like I said, ensuring I've got the correct technique from the penalty spot at a stationary position. However, I'll probably put a keeper in there, just so reflecting a real life sort of game if he was taking a penalty. And then get him shooting either way. Once he's sort of got the correct technique right from a stationary position, and I can progress it on to say further out, say to the edge of the 18-yard box. The same sort of thing, shooting, ensuring he's got the correct technique, shooting into the net with a keeper. And once he's got better at his long distance sort of shooting from there, we could ensure have another player passing it in from his side, so he's got to take a touch and then shoot, and then we'll probably do it testing each foot, so his weaker foot and his strong foot. And we'll have that coming in from different angles, so that could go on for a few weeks depending on how well he gets to grips with it. And then the next one we'll probably progress on to was the same sort of thing. Another player's passing it into him, however I'd have an opponent sort of running onto him just to apply a bit of pressure to see how he deals with shooting under pressure, like in a real life game situation. So he may that could determine how well he deals with it under pressure, getting it on target, and then finally progressing that on to sort of a game situation. So could put more players into the mix of it, putting pressure onto him or more opponents around him, just to reflect a game situation. Keeping a keeper in there, but I'd probably designate where the targets were at the beginning. I'd make him try and hit them again, but in that sort of situation, and then finally it'll be a full game situation in a training session where it'll be 11 on 11, reflecting the game he played the weekend. And then if he gets the shooting opportunity, he should hopefully have progressed on to being able to pull off the correct movement. And then at the end of the 12 weeks, I'd repeat the test that I did at the beginning. So I'd start him off with a penalty spot like I did, and then probably boost the amount of targets he's got to hit from like I did at the beginning. Like I say, I did it 4 at the beginning. I'd say do 6 or 7 in each target, and then I'll make a note of that, and I can compare the results at the end of the action plan, see if he has improved.